Hello everyone, Pedro here with CineMilled, and today we're bringing you the brand new CineLift system. Check it out. Simply put, it is a platform that is connected via high-strength steel cables, and that connects all the way up to your ceiling. And inside of those cylinders are winches. They are very powerful winches, capable of lifting up to and more than 600 pounds. In fact, what's really the limit is the structural integrity of your roof or your rafters. You don't need 18-foot ceilings, 20-foot ceilings. You know, a lot of people that own and use this system actually use this system in their home garages. So some garages have a decently high ceiling, you know, like 8, 9, 10 feet, and that is already enough to make use of the system. You can put all of your camera cases, hit a button, have the lift take all those camera cases up and park your vehicle underneath. So a lot of people use these in their garages. But I think for a lot of filmmakers who have a dedicated filming space, maybe in their small warehouse space like we're standing in right now, this is an amazing system to help you not only organize things, but actually light from it. So the CineLift system consists of the frame. It comes with the cables, the lift cables, and it comes with the two tubes, those rollers that actually have the winch motors built inside of the rollers. So those will roll up and unspool and spool up with the click of a remote control, and that's what it comes with. Now, as far as put a surface for you to put all your boxes on, it comes with this wire mesh, right here. So let me grab it here. So it's a wire mesh system that you simply lay on top right here, and there's some clips to hold the wire mesh system in place. And so the system comes with this wire mesh right here, and it's very useful. It's good, it's very strong. You can put all your Pelican cases on top of it. You can, use it to store all your Pelican cases off the floor. And so, at this point, I want to remind you, this is not just for people who, like us, have a small studio space with the high ceiling. The original intent of this lift system is actually for people who have garages at home that have a little bit higher ceiling height, and you can put all of your Pelican cases here, press the button, it lifts up, you drive your car under it. Once again, freeing up floor space in your garage so you can park your vehicle and not just have all your cases on the ground. It's also an interesting anti-theft because everything is suspended, right? So it's also useful in your home, in your garage. So a lot of people buy this as an organizational system for your home. Some people use it to lift the camper shell off the back of a pickup truck, rooftop tents, all those things, because again, the lift is very powerful. In fact, there is a single motor version that lifts an entire motorcycle. Once again, so you can have space in your garage. getting everything up is as easy as pressing a button. All right, so as you can see, I set a soft stop at the same level as my mezzanine. So I didn't actually have to press the button. It stopped automatically. So what you just saw is the wire mesh floor system. So it works good. It's lightweight, relatively lightweight and strong. You can put a lot of cases on it and stuff. But for my purposes, I feel like I prefer what I'm gonna show you, which is very interesting fact is that it measures exactly 4 by 8, this platform. So you can go to do what I did, go over to Home Depot or your local lumber store, and I bought a 4 by 8 sheet of plywood, and it's gonna fall right on there and fit perfectly within the confines there. There's a little stopper at the end. So the cool thing about using a piece of plywood as the decking for this is you can use sheet metal screws and actually help the structural integrity of the frame by attaching the wood to the frame. You can do a drawbridge system, which is what I did here, so I can walk across it, and it also stabilizes the platform once it reaches the top. Once you drop the drawbridge on it, I put some locators. And you can then screw things into it. Once it's up here, you can put you can hang lights off of it, you can drill into it, you can clamp things into it, you can do a bunch more things with wood that you can't do with the wire system. What really is the limit of the system is the structural integrity of your roof and your rafters. So if you're planning on lifting a lot of weight, you probably should have an architect do a structural load limit report on your roof. And absolutely should be professionally installed, right? This is something that you might be walking under. You may be, in our case, we have actors under it or a host like me. So should absolutely be professionally installed. We can refer you to professional installers. And in some cases, you should absolutely have a load rating done on the roof that you're attaching it to. But all that said, what's really cool about this system is we're going to use our CineMilled Houdini speedrail clamps and all of our speedrail ecosystem so that we can set up a lighting grid under the CineLift system. So what this means is even though I have a small studio space, I'm gonna have a floating lighting grid system that I can raise or lower with the ease of a remote control. So that is obviously extremely, extremely practical and will help speed things up. But the most important part is it frees up my C-stands, it frees up the area underneath the lift or my lighting grid so that I can move around under it. And I have a lot more camera movement freedom because I don't have all these C-stands on the ground. So this is why it is an amazing solution. So you can light from the ceiling, or in this case, the grid. And then if you need to pull a light, if you want to add a light, if you want to add a modifier, you just use the remote control and you press the button and the grid comes down. You can add a light, you remove a light, set a flag, whatever you need to do, press a button and it goes right back up again. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this CineLift and we're gonna take it to the next level. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this into a lighting grid, a speedrail lighting grid. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna take our Houdini speedrail clamps that you may be familiar with, you might own some. So we're gonna offer these as a kit, as an option when you buy the CineLift system. The standard sort of grid size is 4x4 squares for a lighting grid that you might find in a studio. You don't have to adhere to that standard. You can make, you can put the cross tubes as far or as tight as you want for your layout, for your area that you have that you're working with. The very high quality nylock nuts that we're gonna put on the other side here. And So I'm just gonna take care of the Allen. Now that's attached, it's nice and tight. I'm gonna add the other two, and then we're gonna come in and put in our starter tubes and start laying out the grid. All right guys, so we have just finished installing our speed rail grid with the Houdini clamps off of the base, the platform of the CineLift. So what I just wanted to point out here is we sell baby pins. You can take baby pins, thread them in to any of our speed rail clamps, and that gives you another place to attach a light. So that's an option. The other thing you can do, of course, is to buy a lot of different grid clamps. We got a junior grid clamp right here, and then we got this telescoping baby grid clamp right here. So we can spread this around our grid system, and then this will allow us to light from the grid, right? Get everything off the floor. And that's the big advantage of using this. And then obviously the main point of using the CineLift to put a grid on it is the fact that the CineLift can lift a lot of weight. So we're gonna put a bunch of lights on here right now. In addition to that, you can quickly bring them down with the remote control and raise them up and fine tune the height. But most of the time you just need to bring it down so you can attach lights, remove lights, add modifiers, that sort of thing. And that allows you to telescope. You can take the baby pin right there, put that into one of the many attachment points we have on our speed rail clamps. But obviously, if you work with a speed rail grid, there's a number of different ways you can attach lights to a grid, and this is just one of the many, right? Of course, very important, use safety cables right here, safety first. Anything that's overhead can fall. So anything we put up here, we're gonna put a steel safety cable on just in case it slips off. All right guys, I can continue to load equipment on there. I just loaded all the lights. As you can see here, we got the CineMilled dual yoke for the P60s, which is giving us our colored light. We got this junior here where I can put a B7C in here for a little eye light. We got here the huge Light Dome 150 with my trusty 300D Mark II, and so on and so forth, right? You can continue to put lights up on the grid, get the C-stands off the ground. So in the back there, we got a big heavy Mole Ellipso, which is an ellipsoidal 5K light, an old school light, but it's one of the lights I have here and I still use it. When we're doing the Sidus Link class that we did recently here at Cineversity, we had a bunch of 600Ds and we had a 1200D up on this grid, and we put all the ballasts on top. You see here a case I have here, and it can easily lift all of this up and down. Boom. So as this is going up, you can see we had the motorcycle up on there earlier, so it's well below the payload limit for our roof here. And so all the lighting is going up, and I have a clear floor underneath. And here we go, we have our studio. So the CineLift system comes in the system that you just saw, but we're also going to make available a single system. Now that one I have used to raise and lower backdrops. So if you have a warehouse space like this with a high ceiling and you want to use the CineLift to raise and lower your equipment, or you want to use it so that you can raise and lower your light grid, you can do that as well. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about this system, feel free to leave them in the comments below. You could join our CineMilled Facebook group and you can ask questions in there. Most of the time, it's just me answering all your questions, so bear with me. I do try to get back to you guys eventually. and I do try to answer all the questions you might have. So, all right guys, that's pretty much it for the CineLift system. I'll see you on the next one.